Less than 30 minutes to go before the new inflation data comes out, and the guardrails are up. Hey guys, it's Keith Allen, and as you can see, we have new liquidity coming into place here just ahead of the inflation data. Now, yesterday we were talking about this range of interest here in the oval, and actually I think during yesterday's analysis, we actually saw price breaking down, falling through the upper trend line, and then again came down and tested the 2021 high at 69K. That was our prior all-time high. A touchdown here, actually a little wick through the 21-day moving average, which it bounced from. And then we have been hovering above and below this 69K level with support trying to be established here at the 21-day moving average. Now, I want to look at these areas here of technical resistance and support and see where they line up relative terms to the liquidity we see in the order book on fire charts. So obviously we also had I posted this last night, we had a second trend precognition down signal coming in on the A2 plus algo, that coming off of back-to-back confluence signals between both the A2 plus and the A1 algo down here, gave us a clear indication of what was going to happen, and it did, right? So we have this area of interest here, obviously. We have this 69K level, which to me is one of the most critical. It's actually the most critical level on the chart, right? More important than red or green candles is where we close and where price maintains. And so far, price has not been able to maintain a level above 69K without wicking below it. So we've yet to validate an RS flip up at this level. RS flip, resistance support flip for anybody who doesn't know, right? And down here, we see beautiful confluence between the 50-day moving average and the lower trend line. So this now sits at what, about 65.7, we'll say at 65.7 K. Okay, so that's just below 66K. We'll call it that. All right. And as we can see over on fire charts, so what was this? Just below 67. And of course, we know what's up here. This is 68. And then up here, we're at above 70. So, and of course, we have this all-time high, this new all-time high up here at the 73K level. So this really would be bottom support if this doesn't hold here. So let's see, 68.5 here for the 21-day moving average. And then, of course, this level right here, which is between 65.5 and 66. And as we look over on fire charts, we can see we have overhead resistance up above that trend line. And we have support coming in here to serve as guardrails, I think, ahead of this report, which is coming out here in just a little bit, right? So this now sits well above where that lower trend line is. We said it was between 65.5 and 66, and so look at this. You actually have more support coming into this range here above that level, right? So 66 is around here. So the ladder kind of continues down, but this is where the lion's share of that support rather is sitting right now, about 18 million. May not seem like a lot to you, but it really is significant in terms of what we normally see in the charts. So this is good to see here, at least ahead of the report, and the fact that there's more liquidity stacked above it, kind of insulating. Maybe these guys are front running a little bit, whatever the case may be. If this doesn't get rugged, then we should be in good shape here. And of course, to the upside, we have this resistance up here, about 23 million in place at the moment. Drilling in a little deeper into the daily, you can see it very clearly. We do have, still a decent range that price can move, and these reports tend to see some volatility. But this liquidity right here and this liquidity right here will dampen the volatility in both directions. So we've got that going for us, for better or for worse. And what's going to trigger that volatility, if we get it, is going to be, or that attempted volatility, will be these numbers right here. We've got core inflation data coming out here in really just a few minutes. So watching for this. Obviously, a cool number is going to be welcomed, and a hot number is not going to be well received. So we also have more data coming tomorrow that will add to the narrative. But the Fed is looking for a reason to cut sooner than later. And right now, as of the last few months of data, the trending has not been going in the right direction. So if we want to see cuts happening sooner than later, we need to start seeing better data pointing to inflation continuing to come down. So looking for especially a good number here on the core inflation year over year. We want to see this coming down. A beat on the forecast would be tremendous. So we'll be looking at that. In terms of ETFs, we can look at that real quickly. Yesterday, relatively flat for most of the new 9. Of course, Grayscale continues to bleed, and BlackRock continues to grow. So not a big day of outflows, but net negative on flows yesterday nonetheless. I think a lot of these entities are waiting to see what this data looks like before they get too aggressive in either direction. So a lot on the line with this data. We'll be watching very, very closely here in the next few minutes. So be paying attention to that. In the meantime, I hope that this data gives you something that can help you make some decisions as we move into this. Just looking real quickly, I'll zoom out a little bit. Should we lose that level, let's say we have a rug pull here. If we have bad data and a rug pull here, potentially price could go down. 65K seems to be the local bottom ahead of this, prior to this, because of this series of higher lows coming up from 59K. Then we went to the 61K level, then now into the 64, 65K level. So this is serving as support right now. And this is trying to establish support up in this level. We lose this, we go down and we test this down at the 65K. If we lose this, then we're going to revisit, potentially test this lower low. I don't see a lot of sentiment for that in the chart right now because, as you can see, most of the liquidity is actually stacked right up here above 66K. So this is looking pretty good right now for bulls. We'll see how things shake out here in just a few. Of course, nothing I share or say to you here on these streams should be considered trading advice of any way, shape, or form. Trading is risky. Do your own research and manage your risk so you can stay in this game for the long haul. If you like the content, please do me a favor and smash all the buttons. Help me grow this channel. I really appreciate the support you guys are showing me and the comments. I love them. I read every one of them, and I engage with each and every one of them. So please keep those comments coming. If you've got suggestions, I want to hear it. If I'm helping you out, I want to hear what's working for you. Okay, so definitely. And of course, if you're interested in the tools, I'll put a link down in the description so you can go find them over at materialindicators.com. Let's make it a great day, guys, and keep your eye on the prize, right? And as always, trade safe, my friends.